Juggalo brothers.
And the Wraith. Looks like we're all out of time, brother.
Everybody's out of time.
Fuck it. We got to town.
All secrets would now be told.
17 years old? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's reminisce real quick on this fucking masterpiece of an album. I remember when this came out, I was in high school. I was a fucking freshman, and I was currently living in Indiana, but I would soon, after the release of this, go on to move to Los Angeles. Huge fucking change. Knew nobody, no fucking juggalos whatsoever, but this album was right there with me and helped me get through it, you know. It helped me fucking shine. I found myself in Los Angeles because I was lost in Indiana. I remember the anticipation, you know, building up to this fucking album was unlike any other. Like, I can't recall a single moment in musical history where there was such a hype built around an album that hadn't been fucking dropped yet. For years, it was building. Once all six have risen, the end will consume us all. Well, I guess we've been in the end for 17 years, y'all. So, happy birthday to ICP's The Wraith of Shangri-La. Whoop whoop.
What's good, y'all? Mike says Speaker Cloud Podcast. Shout out to CarnivalSpirits celebrating 17 years of the Wraith Shangri-La Insane Clown Posse's 6th Joker's card. Man, when it came to Joker's cards being released back in the day, even now I get really excited. Like, that feeling is like no other, man. I'm telling you. Very first time I ever seen an actual image of this, like a silhouette of this, was at Hatchet Rising 2001. Insane Clown Posse, Twisted, Dark Lotus, Blazy Dead Homie with ABK as the hype man. Amazing. I say to this day, my all-time favorite psychopathic show ever. When this was about to come out, I was 17 years old, a sophomore in high school. The motherfucking hype was off the charts, and I was just like beyond excited. I got down in 1997. The first Joker's card to be released since I've been down was the 5th Joker's card, the Amazing Juggalo Brothers. Got that on release day. It was stupid hype. So the 6th, like, so everyone was waiting for, right? You know, after all 6 has risen, the end of time was consume us all, yo. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't wait to find out what the fuck they were talking about. I'll be honest though, in the back of my mind, I kind of knew what it was. If you pay attention, you know what I mean, you get it. But man, the day of release, I walked out of school, no fucks given. I gathered up my homies, man. We left early in the morning, man. Just bounced out of there, you know what I mean, hopped my homie's whip, went to the Swansea Mall, and I caught my copy of the Wraith Shangri-La. Man, we didn't even bump it in the fucking whip. We waited. I wanted to experience this by myself. We all did, you know what I mean? And meet up, call each other on the phone and talk about it. But it was so special when this came out, you know what I mean? It was raining diamonds for real, for real. The album was impeccable. I enjoyed every minute of it. Back then, I didn't have a computer, so I didn't hear no leaks and none of that shit. What I did before I actually listened to the album, watched the DVD, the seminar portion of the DVD, the 2002 seminar from the Gathering of the Juggalos, and the shit that Jay was saying on there was absolutely incredible, man. I felt that shit because even in my family and just in life, period, I feel like I'm an outcasted motherfucker. You know, being a fat kid all my life, bunch of fuck shit, you know what I mean? When Jay said, like, fuck them, they don't count. Like how they feel in a rap game. Like, anyone that knows me knows I'm a diehard hip-hop head. I know everybody really in the game. And I always give the clowns their props on storytelling, whatever. So when Jay was like, it was like, fuck them, they don't count. You know, that's how I feel. Like, niggas are like, fuck Mike, he don't count. You know what I mean? If I always felt that way. So I get fucking emotional, a little bit emotional watching that shit. And then Jay telling ninjas, like, every time we had a dope idea for the Joker's cards, we said, fuck that, save it for the 6th. You know what I mean? I just got chills, and I couldn't wait to listen to it. You got Twisted in the back, holding all the Joker's cards up. That seminar was amazing. Shout out to the ninjas that was in attendance for that. And then when Jay said, yo, I promise you it's not whack. Like the way, oh man. Yo, when I put that shit in the stereo, mine was fucking blown. This album is perfection. And it's going through the booklet and finding out what Dedicated to the Butterfly meant. And this is before Behind the Paint. But reading this and having all the ninjas you chill with talk about it was something absolutely magical. You know what I mean? See Alex Abyss with Jay and Shaggy. Man, when I read that, I got goosebumps, man. Because I'm a nerd like that. I would look through all the booklets, read all the credits, and I started to notice Dedicated to the Butterfly was in like all the Joker's cards, you know what I mean? And when I found out what that meant, I was like, that is some fresh shit. I really enjoyed that. I'm a big Above the Law fan. They covered murder rap, body that shit, and insanely dope. Get your Wicked on, you know, Die Unveiling, yo, still gives me chills to this motherfucking day. Everything about it is amazing. It's a perfect album. Happy birthday to Insane Clown Posse's 6th Joker's card, the Wraith Shangri-La. I absolutely adore this album. I really do. Artwork, Shaggy Toot does all the cards. That's incredible. Everything is perfect. The era was perfect. The tour was absolutely insane. I don't care what no one says. A lot of people hated on it. You know, of course I like the classic white and black, but I do love their face paint. Wizard of the Hood was in this era. Jesus Christ. It's just an amazing era, man. Insane Clown Posse, the Wraith Shangri-La. Amazing. Shout out to CarnivalSpirits, Beastmaster, Gotti Two Balls, Don Chaos, Shanzi, Panic, Roxy Riddlebox. Some of them ninjas been my homies for like 10 years. Like, dead ass. I love y'all, man. I really do. And I gotta meet y'all at a gathering or something, man. Cause y'all family for real, for real. But yeah. Happy motherfucking 17 years to the Wraith Shangri-La. You know, the reason why I'm a Juggalo today still is because amazing music like that really touched me. I was 17 years old. You know, go figure. So I gotta say, the Wraith Shangri-La, happy 17 years. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.
"17 years ago, ICP completed the Saga, the 6th Joker's card of the first deck, the Wraith's exhibit of Shangri-La. Album had an impact on me 17 years ago. It still holds up to this day with tracks like Get Your Wicked On, the infamous Above the Law cover song, Murder Rap, Glam, It Rains Diamonds. This was the album that brought in the Diamond Rain era, as people call it. Thy Staleness, which samples audio from the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But this has always been one of my favorite eras in Psychopathic Records. You know, everyone that was on the roster around that time. You know, we had ICP, Esham, Twisted, ABK, Blaze, Zug Island, the first supervillain song titled Supervillains. Then you have Juggalo Homies with Twisted. I still really love that song because that song still means a lot to me. It's the song that I consider, for a lot of you guys, my homies and my family. This album I remember bumping it 17 years ago. Your boy was 12. I was 12 years old, y'all. I remember listening to this album in 6th grade. A lot of my friends had copies of it, and we would listen to it in class on our lunch breaks at middle school, or we would listen to it before school started. Looking at it with my friend in middle school, well, we used to sneak and look at the website. So I remember seeing the old layout for the old Insane Clown Posse website. Still one of my top ICP albums. Happy 17th birthday to the Wraith's exhibit of Shangri-La.
Well, hello, boys and girls. Come on in, see the show with the mystical, magical, great dark CarnivalSpirits. Oh shit, it's your birthday. It's your 17th birthday. Hey everybody, it's Miss Hollywood here, and today we are celebrating the bloody birthday of SCP Shangri-La album. So how cool is that? This is one of the most controversial albums that ICP had. God, the 6 Jokers card. Oh my god, I remember that like yesterday. It was really cool because there was 2 exhibits. You would have Shangri-La and you have Hell's Pit. So it's kind of like the aftermath, like where do you go from here? This album just kind of made you think about what happens when you die. Like, where are you gonna go? Where are you headed to? What is your fate? Just everything about it is just brilliant. In The Gathering 2018, they actually brought it back and did the whole album, and it was so cool to see it. It just sucks that it was in Oklahoma. But other than that, it was so cool. I even got on stage for that, so I thought that was kind of fun too. I got to dance to Cotton Candy and Popsicles, which was amazing because that's just one that you don't really get to go down stage and dance to. Usually you dance to like cherry pie and stuff like that. So I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. And I had fidget spinners, so I was just up there like, don't you want to mix cotton candy and popsicles? I don't know. That's just me, and who cares because we're at the carnival, so it don't matter. This whole album is banger after banger. Favorite tracks? Well, I'd have to say probably Homies. I mean, Homies is one. It's just staple. You're with your homies, your road dogs for life, man. Like, that song is just like, it's what being a Juggalo is just hanging out with your friends and having a good fucking time. There's just so many. The birthday song, Don't You Want to Mix Cotton Candy and Popsicles? Like, that was like the coolest thing on MySpace. What also is kind of cool is that like everybody was on this album, and I would have liked to seen it produced by Mikey Clark. I would like to have seen where that would have went, but I think otherwise, having this kind of a popish album, I really like the style, I like the feel. I feel like every song is a banger. You had everybody on the tracks back then. Nobody cared. There was no beefing that we knew about at the time. There was so much family love back then. Oh my gosh, just like, and Homies was a brilliant video. Another one I wanted to point out is We Belong. I just love it because it's like, no matter who, what you are, we belong. We're all one. We're just like all in this together. We're all one Juggalo community. So no matter what, like all your friends, your homies, like no matter what, we all belong here in the carnival. We're all, you know, whether we're here on now or we meet up in the future or in the afterlife, we belong. We're all gonna be together eventually. I don't know, I just love it. The family aspect, it's just so cool. I love it. We belong. Alright, now let's just get to the main thing, the unveiling. That feeling you get when bumping our shit. Just marinate in that. Same way I feel when I enter the Gathering gates. It's that presence that you feel. You know what I mean? Gah! When we speak of Shangri-La, what you think we mean? I love that they made a song and they actually said that they snuck in all this stuff in all of the different Joker's cards to let you know that the whole thing was subliminally, that the truth was that they followed God. They've always been behind him. A lot of people were so mad about that they just were like, I'm over it. I'm not listening to ICP anymore. I thought they were brutal, and they were like, oh gosh, like I totally didn't catch all this. And so some people were mad. They didn't even come back. Goodbye, see you later, because this was all about sticking together and being one, being a Juggalo, sticking together, staying together. So it was kind of interesting to see how this all played out, because it totally tore our little community apart, because some people were just so mad about this and they're like, oh, you tricked us, like that's not okay. I love how ICP, their stories, they all link up, and there you go. There's find your missing link. See what I did there? But see, it all links up. It all links up to a story. So that's what I think is brilliant about ICP. That's why I freaking love them, because it all is a story that all adds up in the end. So each Joker card like follows up the last one, and it's telling a story, it's telling a message, and you got to figure out what it is. That's why it's so brilliant. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, biatch. And always remember to fuck off. Fuck off. Thank you. Goodbye, bitch. Woo woo.
What is up, fam? It is Hatchet Reviews. This video is for the CarnivalSpirits channel, the 17th anniversary of the Wraith Shangri-La. Very impactful album, for me anyways, especially when it got to the last track, which was the Unveiling. I'm not gonna lie, it made me tear up for multiple reasons, because it was just that heartfelt to me. At that time, I didn't know that they were doing Hell's Pit and whatever. I thought that that was pretty much their way of saying they were done. Obviously, I know now that's not the case, and if I would have listened further to the track back then, I would have caught on to the subtle hints. First album that I ever heard in full was the Grant Malenko. The first album that I actually went out to the store myself and bought brand new was the Wraith Shangri-La. So I went out to FYE the day that sucker came out and picked it up. I think it was like $18.99 or some shit, because FYE was expensive as hell. Listening to that album, I still go back to it. To me, it still holds as much sentimental value to me now as it did then. Fantastic album. I thought it was a great way to end like the final chapter, if you will, because they had obviously Shangri-La and they had Hell's Pit. But it was a great way to end with the happy note. It definitely meant a lot for the Juggalo world as a whole, because we had just been waiting all of these years to hear the 6th, and when the 6th finally dropped, ICP were so behind that album, especially Violent J, that I remember him saying, I believe it was the 2002 seminar, he had pretty much said that you're either with us or forget us. It was a great album, it was a great message, the Dark Carnival saga of the original 6, and then the rest, as they say after that, is history. So, this is going up on CarnivalSpirits. This has been Hatchet Reviews, and as always, peace, fam.
What is up, y'all? It's your boy Tori and Jay. What is my favorite tracks off Shangri-La, the Wraith? I would have to say Walk Into the Light, because that song really puts me in the place where, you know, I'm out of this fucking planet, and you know what I'm saying, it makes me think a lot. Blam! I like how that shit jump off, you know, that shit gives me hype as fuck. But when you talk about the spiritual stuff and Walk Into the Light, Crossing the Bridge, and We Belong. We Belong is my shit, because when you listen to it and you think about it, my favorite part is where you're like, some of us said fuck all the bullshit and dropped out. Some of us stood up to fight but got knocked out. Some of us like the cuss and don't like your form, man. We like the wicked shit. We chose not to ignore that. When I heard that, I was like, man, this shit that he's rapping about, I've been through. There's times where I got into fights where I didn't win, son. You know, fuck it. You know, listening to that track made me do some deep thought into this shit. Shangri-La was like one of the albums I really related to. You know, I found the soundtrack of my life. And you know, thanks to them, man, they changed my life. They changed my whole life around. You know what I'm saying? I found that particular album. It kind of, you know, it's like the reverse. It's like, instead of Shangri-La bringing me to Hell's Pit brought me to Shangri-La. Thanks to that album, a lot of things have changed. You know, I chose to go back to school, follow my music career, keep at it, keep doing my thing. I'm not going to stop till the wheels fall off. So, shouts out to ICP, and much love to the Wraith Shangri-La, one of the best albums that's ever came out. 17 years, y'all. 17. 665. Peace.
is up, party people, explorers of the Illy Galaxy? I am Illy Gal, Sarah, longtime Juggalo, short-time rapper. Scotty has invited me to talk to you today about the importance of the 17th anniversary of the Wraith Shangri-La, monumental ICP album that changed lives forever, mine included. Basically, I'm a firm believer in synchronicity, serendipity, destiny, magical moments. They're all around. So with the 17th anniversary of the Wraith Shangri-La, I am also celebrating my 17th anniversary of being a Juggalo. I can actually pinpoint the exact moment when it happened. So it's pretty cool coming full circle here. I was getting a tattoo to commemorate my 17th year of being a Juggalo and talking about how badass the ICP Haunted House Tour was back in October of 2002. For those of you that don't know, they did a small haunted house tour at different haunted houses across the country. They came here to Spooky World, Massachusetts. And at the time, my friends invited me, gave me the rundown, and I was like, ICP? I was like, I know those guys. I was like, you know, Great Malenko, Riddlebox, like, you know, shit I used to listen to in high school. So I was actually impressed to hear that they were still around and doing something fresh, and being the Halloween lover I am, of course I was gonna go. So I went, and whatever happened that night, I don't know if it was the shrooms I ate or what, but no, something very magical happened that night that I will never forget. And I remember leaving there feeling like whatever a Juggalo is, I resonate with that in a very strong way. When I was in high school, there weren't Juggalos. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't like a scene like it is now or then or whatever. But after that haunted house experience, I remember being really excited and could not wait for the Wraith to come out. So fast forward to November 5th, the day the Wraith came out, a day I'll never forget. I'm actually in the park that I first listened to the album the day it came out. So there's a little freshness for you. Yeah, so album came out, amazing. I really love every song on that album. The unveiling will always give me all the feels. I don't care how many times I hear that song, I will always just get chills and just think about how special of a song it is and how special of an era this Wraith Shangri-La era truly was for so many of us. So let's fast forward another month to December. They did the Diamonds Raining tour, which was a really small tour before the Shangri-La tour. And that was my first ICP show here in Boston at the Avalon. And, you know, with those 3 months of doing the Haunted House tour, you know, the Wraith release, and then seeing them live, those 3 months honestly changed my life forever. And I'm forever grateful for not only ICP, not only the Juggalo scene, but the entire power and magic of the Dark Carnival, because it is very, very real. And I'm just so grateful for all of this. It's been an honor to share this story with you. Very excited for the future, and much clown love, and woot woot. Peace.
November 5th, 2002, ICP's The Wraith Shangri-La was released. Final Joker's card. So, 17 years ago. That is fucking insane, man. I know I say this shit every single time, but I can't believe how old these albums are already becoming. And this one stands the test of time. All their work stands the test of time. This actually is one of my favorite ICP projects they've ever put out. I'm pretty forward about the fact that I'm atheist, but the message in this does not bother me at all because it's just a positive message. It doesn't really matter if you believe in a god or a creator or whatever. Obviously, they're not putting it towards any one specific religion, just that they believe in some type of higher power. I myself don't, but I can still take the positive messages that they have in this and put them into my own life, and I've done that. Musically, this album is fucking phenomenal. The lyrics are fucking awesome. It obviously wasn't Mike Clark, but Mike P did a fantastic job. This turned out to be an absolutely fantastic album. I thought it was worth the wait. I ended up picking up one copy on my way to work. I didn't know about the 2 different DVDs. So I just grabbed one, but at the time I got out of work and I was able to swing back to the same Best Buy that I'd stopped at and got the other one. By the end of the day, I had both of them. This here, as you can see, is the DVD audio version. I believe this came out a couple years later, but I picked it up mainly just because I've always wanted to see what these were all about, but then I ended up deciding that it made a pretty cool piece to the collection, and I've showed this before, but I do have it autographed by Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope themselves. Got that at Hallowicked 2015. They also signed the DVD. You can't really see it too well, but you can obviously see that there. This is actually one of my favorite pieces of merchandise that I own. I oftentimes have this on display. Pretty happy that I got this. But overall, this album is fantastic. 17 years old, still holds up to this day. I still throw this in. Actually, when me and Crazy McCormick were on our way down to Indiana a couple months ago, we rocked this on the way down. So, something I still listen to routinely, and I think everybody should as well. So, I gotta just wish a happy 17th birthday to Insane Clown Posse's The Wraith Shangri-La, the first part of the 6 Jokers card. Man, great album, and I'm glad to have this as part of my collection. So, happy birthday, Wraith. This is Echo Side Fiend, and I'm out of here. Too sweet.
What up, y'all? It's motherfucking Team Amy J in the house.
Yeah.
I'm your boy Bobby Blaze.
Jiggy Fresh.
And we're here to do this video to talk a little bit about the almighty Sith Jokers card, Shangri-La. Wraith. It has been 17 years this November 5th since the release of the 6 Jokers card. I know for sure between us we have some really good memories, so we linked up with our homies over here at motherfucking CarnivalSpirits and talk about a little bit of what the era was like for us. I know it was great. Diamond Rain, right?
Diamond Rain. Rain and diamonds constantly.
I was able to go to the 2002 gathering, first time you seen ICP after they went into like hiding or whatever. I was in the first seminar where they announced the 6th. It was so dope. So November 5th rolled around. I remember eating some Wendy's chili, a fucking junior bacon, and some fries, listening to the Wraith Shangri-La for the first time. And I remember getting the album. My mom bought me the album. My brother that same day bought me Head PE Broke. I was gonna listen to it in the car home.
When we listened to it, we had to have, back then I had the caddy, bro. It was definitely blunts rolled.
Yeah.
And we fucking, I think we cruised the whole album, bro, from beginning to end. It's like, fuck it, we're gonna do it right. Like you said, man, it was Diamond Rain, bro.
It ushered in that era of the Diamond Rain. And on top of that, man, we got to see the Shangri-La tour twice. I'm riding that Shangri-La tour.
Oh my god, I had that shirt too.
But we did see that was Chicago date was March 18th. And then we got to see April 28th. At the time, we didn't even know. I don't think. That was Violent J's birthday. Seeing that tour twice was dope because we kind of knew what to expect when you seen it again, so you paid more attention to everything that was going on. So much production. It was so fucking cool. The Murder Mayhem show.
The Murder Mayhem show, and every time they spit a song from a different era, they had the Joker's card lit up in the back.
Violent J coming out doing his fucking Michael Jackson shit.
The fucking glove, bro. The glove, the hat.
We did an actual happy birthday to Violent J.
And back then, if y'all remember, Violent J was a little bit more slim.
I lost all that weight for
Lost a lot of weight. And he was crowd surfing. He jumped in the crowd.
I remember him crushing us, dude, when he came down and it was just boom, we're all, oh shit, I remember they were trying to take our Fago bottles when we left the we were having to shove them down our pants to get out of there.
That Indianapolis show opened up a whole new world of
Juggalo friendships. We met these juggalettes, Ray Ellen and Keisha, and we chopped it up with them for a while. They told us about some of their homies that lived in South Bend. I was fucking young. I was like fucking 13 or 14 years old when all this shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? Bro. I finally got to go out there with them and meet.
What was on 420?
420, yeah. Got to go out there and meet these guys. The South Bend homies, Looney, fucking Lemon, Sweets, you know, LJ, all LJ,
you know, Lotus and fucking Conan,
all these motherfuckers over there, and it was the coolest shit. And now, even to this day, 17 years later, and we know these people, and we all met them from the Shangri-La tour. In the Diamond Rain era, we met these homies that ended up being lifelong homies. You know,
it's family, man. Like it really is, bro. It's not friends, it's family.
It comes then synonymous with the Diamond Rain era, with the era of Shangri-La. It's cool that we don't have to be like, oh, those were the good old days, because every time that we see each other, it feels just as good as those days. And we've met more South Bend homies through Amanda, Sam Blue, Tara, you know what I'm saying? All these ninjas that we've met through just this chance encounter at the Shangri-La tour, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The homies that hooked us up with it in South Bend in that era, in that fucking Shangri-La, and that Wraith, that Diamond Rain era, are these homies today that are fucking they're family, man. It's like we go out to South Bend, which is what, about an hour away from here.
Yeah.
It's always love, bro. Like we know if we go out there, we got somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
If we go out there, we know there's always someone that's gonna have our back.
Someone's feeding us.
Yeah, someone's feeding us.
Smoking me up.
Yeah.
You know, if we need a place to crash, we got it. Because of this whole Juggalo shit, and then in particular during the era of the 6th. The album does, it gives you that chill.
Even the other day, once you go back to that album, like you can't help, like if you listen to it, you can't help but have that feeling.
They were talking to each other, and then we're like, oh man, this is how we met so-and-so, and this is how this happened, and this happened.
Just having a fucking blast, like, and it's like, we never met these guys until then.
And we might not ever have.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It might not.
We might have seen them at shows, but it might not have ever been anything like this.
Yeah.
When we're asked about Shangri-La and
that's what it means.
The birthday's coming up.
Yeah,
that's what it means to us. When we think of this album, this fucking classic album from ICP that wrapped up so much shit, what's cool is that we have this super positive memory to take away out of the Diamond Rain era. You know what I'm saying? Where until Hell's Pit came out.
Yeah.
It was just this
it was
magical time. You know what I'm saying?
And that was my first gathering right after that was 2003. I got down right before that. My first show was right before the 6th dropped, you know what I'm saying? Just coming up in that era.
It was the most welcoming times in psychopathic history. The first gathering I went to 2002 when they first announced the 6th. At that point, it was 10 years since Carnival Carnage came out. And this year it's 17 years since the Wraith Shangri-La came out. It's fucking crazy as fuck, man.
And there's 4 Joker cards in the second deck that's dropped already, bro.
I think that's really cool, though, to what we pull away from the 6th, and that it definitely was a magical time when Shangri-La dropped. We're so happy to have met the people that we did during that era, and I mean, we were like some straight deadhead juggalos, seeing the tour 2 different spots, driving for it, and we were young then too.
We were young, like just getting our license, fresh out the fucking DMV, OB,
dope as fun. And now here we are, still doing this shit, still putting on for motherfucking juggalos, and it's so dope to have met so many more people since then. Like 4 fucking Team MUJ. I'm your boy Bobby Blaze.
G Fresh.
Thanks for remanicing with us about the motherfucking Shangri-La. Much motherfucking love to Carnival Spirits.
Hell yeah, shout out to Carnival Spirits.
We'll be back again on a motherfucking takeover. Until then, y'all take it easy. Go bump that motherfucking 6.
Whoop whoop. Relive that shit.
What's goody, Juggalo family? Roxy Riddlebox here to wish Shangri-La a happy 17th bloody motherfucking birthday. Yeah, it's 17 and in Bayman. To me, this era was really fresh. There was a lot of dope shit going on. The Purple Show was promoting Shangri-La, and everybody was doing their thing. It was super fresh. And then the very next year, in August of 2003, ICP was deemed the worst band ever by some fucking magazine that doesn't even exist anymore. But anyway, Shangri-La received a 3-star review, which was not bad for that time in that genre considering. So yeah. Overall, I believe that Shangri-La was a fucking pretty solid album. In my opinion, it wasn't as solid as the first 5 Joker's cards, but still wicked as hell. Some of my favorite tracks are Murder Rap, Blam! You're the lucky ones. Ain't Yo Business. It's a fucking great track. And it's got that little supervillains clip at the end. Hell yeah. That shit's tight. One of my favorite tracks off this album is Ravensmere. The way Shaggy says. And one of my favorite lines in this entire fucking record. Here I got a couple of the old promo posters that came out that are about the size of a vinyl record. And I've had these motherfuckers hung up in my room for a minute. There's the fucking release date. Available everywhere, November 5th, 2002. Motherfucker. I love just going back to this era. Just reliving that motherfucking magic. You know what I'm sizzling? So happy motherfucking bloody birthday to ICP's Shangri-La. 17 years up in this piece. And to all my juggalos, I wish eternal happiness and good health, motherfuckers. Bangarang.
Man, the Wraith, Shangri-La. I remember when this album dropped. I was still in high school. Picked it up, popped it in my little Sony Discman. I was already changed before, but I heard this and man, I went wild. And the best part was, when we got to the end, I already knew, kind of, you know what I mean? You know, we're not sorry if we tricked you. I didn't feel tricked. In fact, I felt relieved because I felt like, man, I'd been thinking this the whole time, but I didn't find ICP till I was in high school. So it's 2000, 2001, I believe. And, you know, I'm in Target grabbing the Great Malenko. My mind is blown, and I found something that I felt I should have found a long time ago, and I'm just happy I found it when I did. You know, go to the end of that album. Pass me by. I heard that track, and I played it over and over and over again. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, yo, you know, they're talking about, like, the streets paved in gold and stuff. If they're talking about heaven, like, then the Wraith Shangri-La drops. I was spot on. I didn't feel tricked. I didn't feel lied to. I felt good. I felt real good. It was like an eye-opening moment. And it kind of made everything else fall into place. You know what I mean? It kind of made everything line up a little more. Back then, I wasn't going to shows. I didn't know any of the Juggalos at that time. My first show was the Wicked Wonka tour. Yeah. After that show, I went home and I bumped everything I could. Went to school the next day, came home, bumped some more. I guess you could say my journey really started at that point. You know, right after the Wraith came out and I made it to the Wicked Wonka tour, that's when the switch was fully flipped. You know, the switch flipped with the Great Malenko, absolutely. I knew at that point I was a Juggalo. I knew where I belonged. I knew what I wanted from here on out. It was more ICP. It was the Juggalos. It's, you know, it would take me so long to make it to my first gathering, but I'll never, ever forget picking up the Wraith Shangri-La on the day it came out, walking into, at that time, Tower Records, grabbing that bad boy. And man, I knew it all along, and I'm so happy I knew it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, happy 17th birthday to the album that changed it all. One more time. Whoop whoop.
It's been 17 fucking years since the Wraith Shangri-La came out. Happy birthday to the Wraith Shangri-La. The Wraith Shangri-La to me signifies the end of an era, the end of the 6 Jokers cards, the original 6. You got Carnival of Carnage, Ringmaster, Riddlebox, Great Malenko, Jekyll Brothers, and of course, the Wraith Shangri-La. If you follow me, you know anything, you know I'm all about my collection. I got the original releases that were put out November 5th, 2002 by D3 Entertainment and Psychopathic, concert DVD, seminar DVD. Of course, I got the reissues put out by Psychopathic with the dope Wraith Shangri-La hologram cover and the elusive 2 LP set limited to 1,000 copies. Got this a couple years back, super fucking fresh. I love this album. The message, you know, the unveiling, the whole "we're not sorry if we tricked you," fucking hilarious to me. I'm not religious at all. I'm not a religious person. But when I hear that the carnival is God and may all juggalos find him, still to this day sends fucking chills up my back. I get the goosebumps on my arms, the hair stands up. And they came super correct with this album. You know, wicked shit mixed in with that dark carnival message, which they've always done. And if you were around during that time, you know, the lead up to the 6th, I was down since Malenko, so I got to see the unveiling of the Jekyll brothers and then the revealing of the Wraith Shangri-La. And this was the fucking hype that everybody was waiting for. It's, you know, I only had to wait 5 years, but for the people who were down before Malenko and were still there for the Wraith Shangri-La, it must have felt like a fucking eternity, because it felt like an eternity for me. And I remember when I got this album, the day it came out, I went before work. I called work and I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a little bit late today. I had to wait for the record store to open so I could cop that shit, bump it. The music is probably the most clean sounding album ICP's ever put out. It sounds fucking pristine, sounds so good. The production from Mike P. Mike P had to fill in for Mikey Clark because ICP wasn't doing shit with Mikey Clark at the time. And for him to come in on their most important album of their career, he had to fill in some big fucking shoes, and he nailed it with the production on this album. You know, favorite songs for me on this album: Murder Rap, love that shit even though it's a cover. Birthday Bitches is a fun solo track from Shaggy. Hell's Forecast, classic. The Forecast of Hell's Pit, because there was, you know, the part 2. Juggalo Homies with Twisted. You know, one day I have hope that at one of the gatherings or at some event, ICP will have Twisted come out, surprise, and play Homies once again. Ain't Yo Business, We Belong, classic shit. Pretty much a solo Shaggy song right there. The Raven's Mirror. Then you got the unveiling, like I said. Just a super classic album from ICP. The end of an era. The end of the 6 Joker's cards from ICP. The original 6. Love the album. Love the sound of it. And they were performing on the Wraith Shangri-La tour, The Unveiling. That shit was epic as fuck. I know they were doing the release parties. I didn't do that. Pretty sure they had one in Boston, you know, local to my area. But I did hit the tour up when they came through, and that shit was epic as fuck. Like I said earlier, if you were there for that time, you know it was a special time, a fun time. It was raining diamonds. It was crazy as hell. They had the fresh ass makeup, the new style makeup they were rocking during that era, which looked really fresh. Pull out the artwork right there. You could see the face paint they were rocking during that era. Super fresh. Really dope. Violent J had lost a lot of weight. At the time, he was like super in shape. He was killing it on top of his game rapping, storytelling. So happy birthday. Happy 17th birthday to the Wraith Shangri-La. I'm Rome Bona Beneath the Dirt. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Woo! Yeah, 17, son. The Wraith Shangri-La, happy birthday. The 6 Joker's card, the end of an era. Fucking freshness beyond fresh, it's an entity upon itself. That album alone changed my entire existence and my entire perspective of life. No jokes. November 5th, 2002. I remember when I got it in Farmington, New Mexico, Hastings. And I had that in the CD player, and I had the CD player, it wasn't skip proof, but you hold it like that, and you're like, but one little, but no, it was just glistening in the magic. Walking to the light, and everything, this. Drove from Farmington back home to Shiprock, New Mexico, and this Rez kid forever since then became a full-fledged Juggalo, 110%. That's my first tat I got. I was like, I want one because Shaggy has one right there. Then I got that. I need to get this redone, but right there. Fuck this shit. Boom. Right there. There's my share of Sugar Wolf. There's a supervillains tattoo right there. That's the magic of the fucking Dark Carnival. So happy birthday to the Wraith. Shangri-La 17 in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Feel it. Feel the magic right now. Feel it. Just put your hands on the screen and feel the fucking Dark Carnival for what it is. Alright? I am K&B the Sexy Ninja. Woo woo!
What the fuck is up, Juggalos? This is Mitchell from the Murder Mayhem Show, and today we're talking about the Wraith Shangri-La. Yes, this year is the 17th anniversary of the Wraith Shangri-La, and I still remember the feeling well of wondering what the Six Jokers card was going to look like and sound like, and the name and the message and all that stuff. And Shangri-La is a weird one because, of course, it was the first Insane Clown Posse album to not have any production from Mike Clark, so that was kind of a scary thing going into it when we all heard that was going to be the case. And then the singles were coming out. I believe Crossing the Bridge was the first thing to come out before the album did, and Homies was next, and then Ain't Your Business. I believe those were the three songs to come out in that order before the actual CD came out. And they sound different. They don't sound like all the ICP shit before it. So let me go down the track list a little bit. Walk Into the Light, good intro, good song, nice harmonies by Sin of Zug Island in there, good hook, I like it, really sets the tone for the whole album, I think. Welcome to the Show, another good one, that's kind of a throwback Riddlebox sounding style if you ask me. Dig that song, classic ICP. Get Your Wicked On, almost a great track, except for all the he does, he would, he did, he should, whatever the fuck. But everything else is good, so it's still a listenable song. Murder Rap, great song, one of the best tracks of the entire first deck. I would say it's the best track of all of Shangri-La. That's a really good one, and that's totally some old school sounding ICP shit. How could it not be, since it's a cover of Above the Law, one of their influences. Of course it's going to have that wicked, hard-hitting shit to it, so that's a great one. Love that one. Birthday Bitches, also fun. Classic Shaggy solo banger. They do it a lot at the live shows and always goes over good. Blam, another almost great song, except for I hate all the "you're the lucky one." It's annoying. Why would you put it in there so many times? Not really into that one, but not a horrible song, but not a slapper in my book. It Rains Diamonds, good rock song, one of the better rock songs on the album, and one of the better rock songs ICP's ever done. So that's a really good one. The Bitch Slappin' song featuring Blaze, that's a cover, of course, of Compton's in the House, and that's a great one as well. Blaze does a great job. The Staleness, mostly good, but again, why at the end with the "I'm so sorry, I'm so stale"? Do we need that in there so many times for so long? It's just weird, like some of these songs feel like half written to me, filled with unnecessary filler, but still good song though. I like that one too. It's just, I question some of those production choices. Hell's Forecast, fucking awesome song for sure. One of the most wicked tracks of the entire first deck. So it's awesome that even in this Shangri-La themed album, you still have time to squeeze in some of that real dark, hardcore, wicked shit. I love it. Great track. Definitely one of the classics of the first deck, and probably more wicked than anything on Hell's Pit. Juggalo homies, didn't like this song at all at first because it was just too corny, too happy, too friendly, too lovey, too lame for me. I can enjoy homies for what it is. Sometimes you're in the mood for that kind of shit, so that's definitely a good one. Ain't Yo Business sounds like it's supposed to be a throwback to old school ICP sounds, and I think it kind of is in a lot of ways, but it's a little too boring. Like, something needs to jazz it up. It needs some kind of like lethal injection in there. I don't know, something's missing there, but it's still not a bad song. Supervillain song featuring Isham is awesome. Obviously, that's the kind of shit that Supervillain should have been, other than missing a Shaggy verse. That one song, even without Shaggy, still better than every song on Furious. Yeah, that was the right direction for supervillains, if you ask me. We Belong, I mean, it's good, but it's just corny. I don't love the positive shit. I'm not hating on it, it's just not my taste all the time. Cotton Candy and Popsicles, one of the worst songs ICP's ever made, if you ask me. Crossing the Bridge, a little bit too rock for me. Not a bad song by any means. I don't groan when I hear it in concert or anything. The Raven's Mirror, very weird song since it's like actually two songs put together in one. So call that, I was talking before about the songs seem half written. Take two half written ones, put them together, call it one song, I guess. But having said that, both the songs are really good, so I do really like this track a lot. The Wraith is one of my favorite tracks on the whole album. It is one of the more rock sounding ones, but I think it's done really well. I like the hook a lot. Sounds very intense. And then finally, The Unveiling, which I think is a really good song. One of the best on the album. One of the best ICP songs of the first deck, I would say. It's one of the stronger tracks from Shangri-La, and that has nothing to do with the message or the reveal or whatever, anything. It's just, sonically, it's a good song. I like it a lot. It didn't piss me off. It pissed off a lot of other people, including people that I know, people that just got so pissed at The Unveiling that they just totally turned their back on everything, which is just shocking to me because it's like, how could you not have known? So, overall, The Wraith, Shangri-La, awesome album. I really dig it a lot to this day. All these years later, I enjoy it. I love it. I was having a great time when it came out, and I still like it a lot. Thanks for watching and listening and all this shit, and a shout out to TJ, Beastmaster, everybody that is involved with this whole shit. I appreciate you including me and asking me, so peace out. Whoop whoop.
Hi everybody, this is Suck You from Deviant Horror. I'm here to talk about what the Wraith Shangri-La means to me. It's been 17 years since it's been released. That's a long ass time. And I will start off by saying that in 28 years of my life, the year that it was released was the hardest year I've ever had to deal with. Going through a divorce, not me personally, but my parents, just a hard childhood, moving, my mom getting hit by an 18-wheeler and nearly dying. That year, 2002, definitely very hard. But November 5th, the Wraith Shangri-La was released. It just so happens that is my birthday. Remember, the 5th of November. So, birthday bitches. It was my birthday, motherfuckers. My motherfucking birthday. But the Wraith Shangri-La, it's honestly my favorite album. My favorite Joker's card. This album honestly plays a significant part in my life. This was one of the first tattoos I ever did. And yes, I did it on myself. And that right there kind of, gives an example of like, that's my shit. But that's pretty much to sum it up. I love being a Juggalo. Thanks to the Wraith, which I listen to it all the time. It makes me cry, but it makes me happy because of that Joker's card. I was able to pull through and make it through all the hard times. Sorry. But yeah, I'm not good at this kind of thing. if I could say, you know, to ICP, I'd tell them thank you for coming out with that Joker's card, especially when you did, because I feel like the Carnival genuinely gave me that Joker's card. I know everybody has that one Joker's card that they all feel like a strong connection with, like it speaks to you. I could tell you several different ones where they all speak to me, but this one speaks to me on a deep level. That's why it's always going to be my favorite. So yeah, there's a little bit that you should know. Yeah. Gang gang. Woo woo.
Years ago, the Juggalo world was rock. This is one of those albums that is timeless. Something to be proud of right here, you know? Many people were excited. It grew more and more into their love of fucking Wicked Clowns and their story and everything they built up to that point. Some people were disappointed and stopped following ICP right after that. Still to this day, you know, 17 years, I'm still in love with this album. It doesn't sound dated at all to me. All the events and stuff surrounding the release of Shangri-La, it was just incredible. It was an amazing time for me. Very good memories that I'll always hold near and dear to my heart. Intro by Jumpsteady, just the whole beginning of the album, it just gives you chills. You know, Walk Into the Light and then Welcome to the Show. There's so much energy to it, and going into I could just name all these fucking tracks because this whole album is like just one wild ride, you know? It's like I gotta hear this whole album. Now, I also wanted to point out the Wraith on the album of Shangri-La and the Wraith on the Hell's Pit album cover are actually the opposite of what you may think they are. This was said by Violent J, but these two Wraiths here, bing 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 3D glasses, are swapped. This is actually the bad Wraith, and this is actually the good Wraith. Because if you can see, this Wraith here has the horns, and he's holding his hand out here because he's trying to drag you down to hell. And the crow is looking away from him. And then on the Hell's Pit cover, this is the one who's trying to save you. He's trying to lift you up to heaven. And the crow's like facing that way, no horns. So this story is out there. I'm not making this shit up. You can look it up. But there is symbolism behind these two Wraiths here. The Wraith. I feel like that track itself gets overlooked quite a bit. The track The Wraith, to me, whenever someone has passed away or, you know, is facing death, I mean, in my profession, I see death like all the time, like daily. But this song helps you, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Just the chorus and the way it's sung and the emotion behind it, very calming. When Jay goes into talking about the 6 Joker's card of the dark carnival faith. And then the line where he says, once he finally touches you, with death eternity can begin. Now, a lot of people don't know, but back in the Napster and LimeWire days, they have an official video released. I'll play the intro for you real quick. Here it is.
Carnival of Carnage. The Ringmaster. The Riddle Box. The Great Malenko. The Amazing Jekyll Brothers. And the Wraith. Looks like we're all out of time, brother.
I remember when the unveiling came out, how much people were like up in arms over it, you know? Oh, they're talking about God and all this. They're a Christian band. They've been Christians the whole time. And I've been like, no, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. And you know, past 17 years, all these people are still thinking ICP is a Christian band. Are they a Christian band? I think we'll let them say it for themselves. In this interview done by Vlad TV, I believe.
We say the Dark Carnival is God. We don't mean God as in Christianity or any other religion. We just meant the creator, you know? We don't mean any specific religion. We just mean like the creator. We believe in faith. Faith is a very important thing, man.
One of the things that drew me to ICP is their belief in some kind of higher power. It doesn't have to be Buddha, Muhammad, the Christian God, or any of that organized religion. That's not what they're about. They're just having faith in something bigger than yourself. I'm real excited to see what the future brings, because this fucking story isn't over. I love what they're doing with the new deck. Fearless Fred Fury, I really enjoy. The story of Insane Clown Posse is far from over, you know, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad I've been a part of it for 20 plus years, and I'm excited to see where it's still heading, you know.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Suicide. Just want to say, oh shit, it's your 17th birthday to the 6 Jokers card and my favorite album of all time, The Wraith, Shangri-La.
What up, y'all? This is Scrappy Doo from the Juggalo. It's the 17th anniversary of The Wraith, Shangri-La. And the impact that this album had on my life was, you know, introducing me to the craziness, which is this whole family that I've been a part of. I can't even express how much this album means to me. And if I had to pick a favorite song, it would have to be Supervillains with Esham. Though the second favorite song would have to be Homies. There's so many really good songs in this album. This one's for y'all. Whoa, whoa.
Happy 17th, motherfucker!
Happy 17th, fam. To all my family, my Juggalo family, I love y'all, man. Whoop, whoop. Monstar love, baby. Aunt G. Ayo!
Happy 17th.
This is Ashley from FagoLovers.net, and whoop, I just want to say happy 17th birthday to The Wraith. You're one of my favorite albums. You mean a lot to me, and I just want to thank you for being there for me through all my changes throughout the years, because without you, I couldn't be me.
This is Bob Rocks, and I just want to wish a happy 17th birthday to The Wraith, Shangri-La, the album that dropped and changed a lot. I mean, it was crazy how much this album meant to everyone. I mean, when they did Thy Unveiling and we're not sorry that we tricked you, we don't care what happens now, all that shit. But even just that whole fucking song as it goes through the years of ICP, and it just gives me chills. I got chills right now thinking about that. Murder go round, you know, and they're like going through all the fucking, like, everything that got them to that point. Man, shout out to Joe and Joey. You guys are fucking heroes.
What up, Juggalos and Juggalesses? Lunchbox in this motherfucker saying happy 17th to The Wraith, Shangri-La. This album holds a special place in my fucking heart because it was a defining moment in my whole history. It brought it all together for me. It made me understand and see the light and walk in the light, if you feel what I'm saying. I mean, I already knew my path and everything, and I understood the Juggalo calling way before the Wraith, but for them to share with us that unveiling, like what it truly is to be a Juggalo, it was just so touching to me. And in particular, my little sister was there for me at that time as well, and to share that with her in that moment, it just means so much to me. Happy 17th. Whoop, whoop.
What's good, motherfucker?
It's your boy Hulk Hoagie, aka Young Sandwich, aka motherfucking Robbie Wawa. And I'm here to wish this motherfucker a happy motherfucking 17. He almost grown, do you know that? He grown. Real shit. Keep shit fucking wicked. Happy fucking 17th birthday to that motherfucker. Fuck y'all, man.
Hey, Megan Too Fresh here. I'm just gonna say happy birthday, Shangri-La, the Wraith, whoop whoop. Why do normies do that? We'll never know! Anyways, I just want to say the album means a lot to me. Like, I know it means a lot to you motherfuckers. 2002, I went to the Haunted House tour. I had no fucking money to get in because my friend's like, it's free. All the Juggalos there got together and fucking got money for us to go in. And that's the first time I seen like Juggalo family coming together. I was like, oh my god, what? I belong here. But the album is fucking, I can't describe it. I just can't. I tried to. There's so much music by them that I can't even put into words how it makes me feel. But I feel like I belong. And my unveiling still gives me goosebumps. In the gathering, I cry when they perform the whole album. Happy birthday, that's all I can say. You're 17, you almost 18.
Yo, happy 17th to the motherfucking 6 Jokers card, the Wraith of Shangri-La. I remember that shit like it was yesterday when that shit dropped. It was a motherfucking special.
What's up? Beastmaster here for the 17th anniversary of ICP's The Wraith Shangri-La. Obviously, these guys came up like the ultimate underdogs with over-the-top Faygo Douse stage shows, tons of hidden messages in the music, reversed audio, clues and hotline numbers and Easter eggs everywhere. Every album dedicated to the butterfly. You know, after years of throwing around the number 17 like it's some sort of Where's Waldo of the Juggalo world. When the 6 dropped, it was just the most exciting thing ever. You know, they had been promoting it since the beginning. There will be 6 faces of the dead carnival. After all 6 have risen, the end will consume us all. We were lucky enough to have a Wraith release party with ICP as the hosts right here in Boston. So that took place on the day before its national release, and that's my birthday. So of course that was extremely serendipitous for me, and it felt like the track Birthday Bitches was written for me. And I know Suck You is like, oh no it isn't, but you know, Violent J explained it best right in the beginning when he compared the 6 Jokers card to a spaghetti strainer, and putting the Juggalo community through it. Everybody who isn't down with the 6 Jokers card or the unveiling is going to just fall through the spaghetti strainer like sand, and everybody who is left behind, who embraces the 6th, are like diamonds in the spaghetti strainer. So I fucking love that analogy. Here's some vinyl. I gave a speech on the Dark Carnival and broke down the 5 Jokers cards for my classmates and explained what ICP meant to me. Had my college roommate film it.
They're on their way to doing the 6 Jokers card, which is the last one. I have no idea what it's going to bring. I'm very excited about
For my ICP tribute song, Dear Joe and Joey, I had to wait patiently for the 6th to drop so I could complete the lyrics, even though I had most of the song written within the 3 years prior. Standout tracks for me would be It Rains Diamonds, The Staleness, We Belong, and of course the title track and the unveiling itself. There was a while where I would play that song on repeat and just bawl. It just brought me to tears. It was beautiful. That's just me. I really appreciate every Juggalo that contributed their story to this video. Much love to ICP. Thank you for the 6 Jokers card and the Lotus Pod and this family of ours. Much clown love. I'm Beastmaster. You guys are awesome. This is Carnival Spirits. I'm out. Until next time. See ya.
Sum it all up, 6 Joker card tip. What happens after that is pure speculation.